right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto 101 podcast. I'm your host, Bryce. Very excited today. We got a great guest for you. As always, joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Brendan Veeman. Brendan, how are you doing today?
Bryce, I am doing fantastic. We are ending the year on a bang here with perhaps one of the biggest upgrades that we've talked about this year, outside of maybe the Bitcoin halving. That was a pretty big one, but this, when it comes to the altcoin market, is massive. So we're ending the year on a big note. We got one of the biggest names here, and man, we got a lot to talk about. Yeah,
we are joined by Michael Kaplan, who's an engineer working on the platform over at Avalanche, and particularly going to be introducing us to Avalanche 9000, which is the new launch that they've got going on. So Michael, thanks for joining us, and we're really excited to dive into things here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited to talk about it. I was just saying it's great timing with Avalanche 9000 hitting mainnet yesterday, so excited to dive in.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be more pleased to have you. Full disclosure, we've got AVAX. We're holders. We're excited about what's going on over there. And why don't you just catch us up real quick before we dive into things going on at Avalanche? Just, let's get our audience acquainted with you personally. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing before crypto, and now what are you involved in, and what's your role?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been at Ava Labs for a little over 5 years now, and was originally made aware of the company because our founder, Goon, was one of my professors at Cornell. So it was really in the right place at the right time to kind of be at the forefront of some of the research that he was working on back in 2018. And that was how I kind of got my start at Ava Labs. He was looking to bring some people that he had already worked with at Cornell in to help build out the vision, which originally started around the idea of this novel consensus algorithm that could be leveraged to help create super high throughput, low latency chains and scale those to many thousands of active validators. And since kind of delivering on that thesis back in 2020 when mainnet launched, we've really tried to focus on each part of the blockchain tech stack and provide innovation up and down it. So whether you're talking about databases and storage or networking, obviously consensus, virtual machines, execution, interoperability. Got a lot going on at many different parts of the blockchain tech stack, and we're trying to push them all forward. So throughout my 5 years here, have been have worn many different hats. Worked on the Avalanche bridges, connecting Ethereum and Bitcoin to the Avalanche C chain, and also heavily focused on interchain messaging within Avalanche for native communication between any two Avalanche L1s. We're super excited about the end upgrade in Avalanche 9000 going live on mainnet yesterday. Think that will be a big unblocker for new applications to be built on top of interchain messaging, ICM, but also more experimentation in the creation of new blockchains using new virtual machines or with unique applications built on top of them. So we think it's a big unlock for a lot of builders out there looking to get started, and we hope it's just the beginning.
Wow. Yeah. Lot to unpack there, Brendan.
There is, and that's why we got all the time in the world to do it. One of the things that sparked my attention there was kind of just talking about the next generation of blockchain. It's something that me and Bryce love bringing up because it's ever growing, it's ever changing. And, we see projects like yourself, like Avalanche, that is not content with where they are at. They're saying, hey, we can do bigger things, we can do better things, we can become more interoperable, more scalable, more efficient. The list goes on. And that's really where kind of your specialty comes in from the engineering side, is saying, hey, let's break this down. And so, I guess before we get into the specifics of AVAX 9000 and what kind of that upgrade entails, what does, or I guess how does the current state of just increasing blockchain tech, like what does that next era look like? Like how are we working on the current state of blockchain? And like, what can we see down the road? Because, most of us and most of the listeners, we aren't engineers. Like, we don't know what goes into that and what that could look like. But I think that, you have an opportunity here to give not only myself, but a lot of the listeners some kind of keen insight into like what goes on behind the scenes and like maybe like what interests you, because it's easy for someone like myself to be like, oh, they said the word RWA, they said tokenization, they said DeFi, I'm interested now. And we can get caught up in like these niches and these other things. But, would you say that, from an engineering perspective, that you guys maybe see things a little bit different and, maybe there's something that sticks out to you and that you are really looking forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So I think a core piece, maybe if I can take a step back.
Yeah,
a core piece of the foundation of the design of the Avalanche network architecture is that no matter how fast a single chain can go, which we want to push to be very fast, we will always need a multi-chain network. One, because there's some theoretic limit no matter how fast we make single chain, and at a global scale, hopefully we will blow past whatever that limit is and need to be able to scale horizontally. But two, because many different projects in the different verticals that you just named have a lot of their own considerations and their own product requirements or regulatory requirements, and the chains and technologies that they use should be able to be tailored to their specific use cases. And so that's really a core piece of the technology that we're trying to, or how we're trying to develop this technology at Avalanche, to allow all of these use cases to be developed on top of Avalanche and seamlessly interoperate with all the other chains in the network. And so, when you talk about what am I excited to work on or how do I see it progressing, I think needs to be some level of union between the efforts going on kind of at the lower level of the tech stack of, how can we make this database more optimized, and how can we make sure that the validators of this network are able to keep up with the transaction load, or how are we able to reach the decentralization goals that we want to have for this network. Those all need to be translated into what are people actually trying to build using that. And the unique thing about Avalanche, I think, is how customizable it is, so that you can apply your different requirements or performance optimizations on your own L1 network and make sure it's hyper tailored to your specific use case, no matter what type of project that you are. And within that, still be connected to the larger Avalanche network. And yeah, that's really kind of a big enabler of exploration of a lot of different pieces of the technology, whether that be ZK or whether that be new virtual machines, and how those can plug and play with each other is experimentation that we hope to see happen on Avalanche.
When you're part of a military family, you understand sacrifice and support. At American Public University, we honor your dedication by extending our military tuition savings to your extended family. Parents, spouses, legal partners, siblings, and dependents all qualify for APU's preferred military rate of just $250 per credit hour for undergraduate and master's level programs. American Public University. Value for the whole family. Learn more at apu.apus.edu/military.
When it's PCS time, you know the drill. Pack, research the new base, get the kids in school, because family supports family. At American Public University, we support military families with flexible, affordable online education that moves with you. As a military spouse, your tuition rate is the same as your partner's, just $250 per credit hour. American Public University, education that moves with you. Learn more at apu.apus.edu/military.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Granger. With over 1 million industrial